Greetings and salutations. I'm back. I didn't get to finish the last one I was trying to do. I got contacted by one of my oldest friends who, honestly, I am missing so intensely, and I never knew if I'd actually be able to get to talk to her again. I wasn't sure if it was one of those bridges I just completely destroyed. She lives in a different city nowadays. I didn't know if I'd ever be able to contact her again. And getting to see a message from her was everything. It was literally everything. Because I know that currently in my life, everything is starting to come together, and it's going to be what it needs to be, and it's all happening in divine time. I have no control over anything other than what's inside of me. I understand that. I'm powerless over everything else in this universe, but I am not powerless over what's inside of me and my actions and my reactions. Those are the things I have control over. So I was talking about Marie, and I was discussing what she is doing and how that had literally changed so much inside of me from watching her emotionally release these traumas and discuss how she's going to get retribution. She's getting it. It's going to happen. She is not allowing these people who fragmented segments of her life to win. And it doesn't matter if they have influence here, influence there, if they're this big person or that big person or whatever. It doesn't matter. She's going to get retribution. And if I can, as a fellow survivor, share her story, or not me share it, but put people in line to go see it and hear it from her, listen to her tell her tale. Because the emotions that come out in it, and like I said, like I'm saying before, if you start at the top and go down, it's going to seem like she's crazy and you're going to see her get sane, right? But she's not crazy. It's the emotions. And if you start at the bottom and work your way up to the top through the TikToks, you're going to see the progression of, so more and more is happening, but it's also all this energy that's bubbling up and out because justice is coming. And all this pain. So here I'm going to speak for myself. Okay, because I can't speak for her. I know for me that I started talking, I first admitted to another human being my abuse 20 years ago, and I've been working on a journey with that since then. And what I'm doing now, therapy-wise, is really, really fucking intense, and hearing her tell her story so unapologetically and owning it and voicing it makes me feel that if I do the same, then I can reclaim this sense of power back, and I can stop living my life to not live, but to exist. I can stop just existing and I can live again and maybe have something, you know, because I kind of don't feel like I do. I'm 47 years old. I was essayed at 3 And it was started with showing me home videos of one of my cousins and one of my uncles. And it progressed from there. Not only did my uncle do what he wanted to do, but then a cousin, a man who wasn't my grandfather but was my cousin's like step grandpa. I'm not knocking out my grandpa because he fucking had his hands in it too. The fact that my dad, the fact that my dad it didn't stop for a long time. I was 16 when I told my grandpa that I would end him if he kept doing it. By that time, I was strong enough that if he laid another finger on me, my mind was there that I was not going to let that happen anymore. The parts of my dad are so blacked out. I'm like, every time I remember something, it fucking shatters everything. I have one family member left alive. I don't know if I could do what she's doing. And then that's not considering the positions I'd put myself in my early 20s for being a teenager and a man in his early 20s at the end of the 90s and the beginning of the 2000s and being gay and not being able to be out. And I got myself in some positions where I got essayed at 17. That was the only time I went to the cops. And the police told me that, because I didn't do this in front of my parents are extremely religious. If they would have seen it, my life would have been over. The cops told me my name would be in the paper. You know, now as an adult, I know that's not the case. I know that's not even possible. But as a 17-year-old boy, a 17-year-old young man, that is exactly where my thoughts were. Were like, I can't. So no, I have not. Since then, the other times that something's happened, I have not gone to the police. Not even with the last one. The last one, it was Gay Pride in Washington, PA. And I went and met a man at the Holiday Inn. And I was drugged. And I woke up being essayed. And when he was done, he pulled out a razor blade and proceeded to mark me from my knees up to my sternum with thousands of little paper cut-ish type slices. And that was my legs, my genitals, my stomach. I think he kind of left me for dead. But I'm going to tell my story, and this is parts of my story, and I'm not done. I'm not done, and I'm not giving up. I'm going to heal. I am healing. I am stronger today than I was yesterday, and I will be stronger tomorrow than I've ever been. We can do this. We do recover. We do heal.